Welcome to County Report this week. I'm Anqoinette Crosby. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in the next half hour, county leaders rally to raise the minimum wage and why the octave is hitting all the right notes with new home buyers in Silver Spring. And later, feel the chill, how Rockville is gearing up for Old Man Winter. But first, the time has come for the County Council to elect new officers. This takes place each year on the first Tuesday in December. In this report, we find out which council members will be filling the top spots. Susan Kennedy has the story.
I am pleased to nominate my friend Roger Berliner for council president.
Nominated by his colleague, Councilmember Nancy Navarro.
The council unanimously elects Roger Berliner as president of Montgomery County Council. Good luck, Roger.
Council President Roger Berliner says he plans to use his term to build on the county's nationally recognized reputation and model what a truly inclusive community looks like.
Our county's diversity provides us with a unique opportunity to showcase how a rich tapestry of 170 different cultures can thrive in harmony. There are not many communities on the face of the globe that have the cultural richness of Montgomery County. And every time we tap into it, it rewards us handsomely.
By his side as vice president will be Hans Riemer, who was nominated by Councilmember George Leventhal.
Highest praise that I can give to a fellow council member is he is a good colleague. He's available to listen. He's available to work through and discuss the complex fine points of issues. And I know that he will be a good listener as council vice president and then in any future leadership posts that a future council or that this council may identify him to serve in.
Council President Berliner takes office with the goal of getting the basics right, which includes keeping education a top priority.
And what is more fundamental than education? It is one of the central pillars upon which our county's reputation and the future of our kids depends. That is why we unanimously passed an Education First budget last year.
In his speech, Berliner also cited the need for greater commitment to ending gridlock in our region. He says more dollars must be devoted to address this quality of life issue for county residents. And just as important, Montgomery County must work to expand economic opportunities for all residents.
We know there are too many of us struggling, and we have a pretty good idea of some of the things we can and hopefully will do to help in the year ahead, including, but not limited to, investing in entrepreneurship and workforce development, focusing on early childhood development and care, promoting economic growth throughout the county, increasing affordable housing options, and supporting our strong and effective nonprofit community. Thank you again for the opportunity to lead us this next year. It truly is an honor.
Nancy Floreen is the outgoing council president. During her remarks, she praised her colleagues, saying the work they completed this year set the gold standard for moving the community forward.
Principally, you'll recall this was an Education First year, entering into a historic and unprecedented partnership with the Board of Education.
Those words capped off outgoing Council President Nancy Floreen's remarks as she passed the gavel to newly elected President Roger Berliner. Floreen highlighted the many accomplishments of the council over the year, but also talked about how changes at the national level have affected Montgomery County.
We've seen a dramatic increase in vitriolic speech, and of course, a prevalence of style over substance.
Floreen spoke about the council's commitment to the health and welfare of its residents and also the tightening of wage reporting requirements to ensure workers are paid a living wage and can take parental leave. And public outreach to the more than 1 million county residents was a hallmark of her administration.
This year, the council as a whole held dozens more town halls, forums, and special events in their district. This is a council that likes to meet with people face to face.
In Rockville, I'm Susan Kennedy for County Report This Week.
Dozens of people gathered at the Montgomery County Council building in Rockville to push for the passage of the minimum wage bill. MyMC Media's Mitty Hicks has more.
It's been 5 years since the Occupy Wall Street movement, the protest that received global attention for the fight against economic inequality. 5 years later, in Montgomery County, residents are starting their own movement called Fight for 15 to address economic inequality.
It is important that we raise the wage within a year or so to 15 an hour minimum. It'll help people a lot more because Raises just go up too slowly, not enough to keep up with the cost of living that increases all the time outrageously.
With signs in hand reading Fight for 15, those in attendance heard various testimonies from residents who are barely making ends meet because of low wages.
We're the Walmart workers, the airport workers, the retail workers, the fast food workers. We are the child care workers and yes, the healthcare workers, and we must stand united.
County elected officials were also in attendance to show their support of raising the minimum wage.
Very important to remind everybody that the cost of living in Montgomery County is extraordinarily high. Just recently there was a study of major jurisdictions around our region. This is the one county where poverty actually has gone up for women.
I'm a strong believer in raising the minimum wage. I think that if you're working for a living, you ought to make enough money to live on.
This rally comes just 1 week before the council will vote on whether to raise the minimum wage for the county's lowest income workers to $15 by 2020. In Rockville, I'm Mitty Hicks for County Report This Week.
Coming up on County Report this week, how Noah's Law is already helping police crack down on drunk driving. Plus, we get an update on the county's new cutting-edge training facility and their recruiting. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
In Montgomery County, we have a goal to reduce waste and recycle 70% of all waste by 2020. By recycling and reducing waste, we save natural resources and make our community even better. So recycle at home, work, school, everywhere, and keep recycling going. For more information, call the Montgomery County, Maryland Division of Solid Waste Services at 311 or visit montgomerycountymd.gov/recycling.
Keep it going. Recycle more now.
Did you know there are more than 10,000 county government phone numbers? But there's only one number you need to remember for non-emergency calls, 311. MC311 is Montgomery County government's online telephone information system. Need information? Have a problem or complaint? Trying to locate a county government facility? Call 311. The call center is open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The website is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Welcome back to County Report This Week. I'm Anqoinette Crosby. 2016 started with a budget deficit of about $180 million, and it's ending with a possible budget cut across the board. County Executive Ike Leggett revealed the upcoming financial challenge during his one-on-one interview with Lorna Virgili.
He's already working on the fiscal year 18 operating budget. County Executive Ike Leggett says that it is a very difficult position. Less revenue means a 2 to 3% budget reduction for all departments. He pinpoints the council's decision of adding $28 million to the budget this year and raising taxes above what he had originally recommended.
Increase in spending simply as a matter of objective by the council, I thought, was not the proper way to go. In addition, they increased the property tax over and above the amount that I had ultimately recommended, and they added a recordation tax as well. The combination of those two things, I think, in many ways, created a challenge for us going forward. It means that it's very difficult to have any future revenue enhancement.
Talking about revenue, the executive recently proposed a new model for the operations of liquor control that would make the department more efficient and provide the county with $30+ million.
I suggested a private authority. That is, an authority that would come in and operate it. The county executive simply would make the recommendations to the council as to the board of directors. They would select their own operating oversight process of having personnel therein to operate it, with a chief administrative officer to do that. We will have a lot of independent authority on procurements, on a lot of the challenges that you face with a county government, and they will simply operate it.
2016 was a year of opening several new county facilities: 2 recreation centers, 2 libraries, the Glenmont Fire Station, the Public Safety Training Academy, and the Dennis Avenue Health Center. 2016 was also the year voters approved term limits for the offices of county council and county executive.
I think some of the regrets that I have is that we have not made as much progress that I'd hoped in terms of reducing the achievement gap. Some of the regrets are along the lines of the budget, on some of the higher increases in taxes and some of the expenditures over and above what I had anticipated.
Executive Leggett had announced earlier this year that he would not seek re-election. Although he still has 2 years left on his current term, he's already working on his legacy, sustainable budgets. In Rockville, for County Report This Week, I'm Lorna Virgilio.
Last December, Montgomery County police officer Noah Liotta was killed by a drunk driver while he was working on an alcohol task force in Rockville. Now, a year later, his legacy lives on through a new state law bearing his name. Officers conducting these field stops say Noah's Law will go a long way to helping put the brakes on drunk driving.
We'll be doing some structured enforcement, working to keep the drunk drivers off the road. The extra strength that we have is the passage of Noah's Law. It gives us that extra tool that will enable us of once we catch them and they go before the MVA, they will have to have an interlock on their device and they won't be able to drive drunk again in Montgomery County. So we like the fact that this will give us some extra help, this Noah's Law, and Noah's still on patrol for us. So we'll be out working extra hard to try to prevent another tragedy.
With the doors now open to the county's innovative Public Safety Training Academy, people are curious about how things are shaping up. The training directors for police, fire, and rescue stopped by to give us an update during an interview on the county's Spanish language radio show.
Recruitment is always ongoing. We are finalizing the list for the next class, which starts in the beginning of January, and then we're already starting to recruit for the following class, which would be in July.
It's 26 weeks of training, and where they'll come in and they start off with they get a physical evaluation, or actually their physical fitness is prescribed by our medical director, and they'll get their EMS, their ambulance training, their fire and rescue training, and more importantly, all that goes to is the safety and survival training.
Both departments are recruiting on an ongoing basis. For more information, visit montgomerycountymd.gov. What do you get when you convert a 1964 office building to residential in downtown Silver Spring? You get a hot new property that's popular with first-time home buyers. MyMC Media's Sonia Burke gives us a VIP tour.
We like to call this the ultimate recycling project. We reused a 1960s office building that was close to vacant and kind of past its useful life. And instead of knocking down the entire building, we gutted it and converted it to residential.
Welcome to the Octane 1320, a new condominium building at 1320 Fenwick Lane in Silver Spring. It's located just 2 blocks from the Silver Spring Metro and features 102 units. Condo sizes range from 450 square feet to 840 square feet, and they're priced on average between $235,000 and $350,000. Montgomery County invested $4.1 million in the development of this project.
It was in the county's interest to help and support this project so that we can encourage more people into home buying.
We do have a lot of first-time home buyers that are young professionals in the area. A lot of them have reduced their commutes by buying here.
Demand to live here is high. Over 90% of the units have been sold, and the county's investment has been repaid. County officials recently toured the building and walked away impressed with the design and the location.
It looks so contemporary. It looks hip, I guess you would say. Got a fabulous location.
And here you're right adjacent to the heart of Silver Spring.
Inside the condo building, amenities include a fitness center, a common area lounge with a fireplace, an enclosed rooftop lounge, and a huge roof deck.
What I'll call the social scene here is really remarkable. Folks have scheduled happy hours, and everyone just seems to kind of be in the same phase of life, and they all love living here.
In Silver Spring, I'm Sonia Burke for County Report This Week.
More help is on the way for community members affected by dementia. County Executive Ike Leggett just launched a new Dementia Friendly Initiative. It will provide more support and services. This is a joint effort between public safety officers and the Department of Health and Human Services. As part of the outreach program, the police department is providing wearable ID bracelets. Plus, Fire and Rescue are giving out a medical history form that can be completed and hung on a refrigerator for quick access.
There are things that we can do, and we are doing them in Montgomery County. But we should always be reminded about the families that suffers day in and day out. It is a disease that is not isolated. It affects the entire family. It is one of the most devastating challenges we have in our society.
County Police will continue providing training for officers in dementia support, and the Department of Fire and Rescue will offer online training for first responders. For more information on resources, visit the website on your screen or call 240-777-3000. Coming up on County Report this week, who's staying and who's going? We'll introduce you to the new members on the County Board of Education. Plus, how one local program is opening doors for immigrants by helping them find a key to success. Those stories and more when we come back.
A message about protecting your pipes and ours from WSSC.
Get to MC and we'll get you going.
Welcome back to County Report this week. I'm Anqoinette Crosby. The newest members of the Montgomery County Board of Education were sworn into office this month. MyMC Media's Sonia Burke has the story.
Your reputation precedes you.
It was standing room only for the swearing in of newly elected Board of Education members Jeanette Dixon, Shebra Evans, and incumbent Rebecca Smondrowski.
I am so excited to be able to continue this work. I'm excited that the election is behind us. I'm excited to move forward working with my colleagues on the board, including the new colleagues that are coming on and our superintendent.
I'm excited about getting to work for all of our students to ensure they have a quality education and a bright future ahead of them.
I consider the education of our kids to be a very sacred trust. I'm going to get up every day and work very hard to ensure that all of our kids get the best education possible.
To our parents.
The former principal of Paint Branch High School bested incumbent Phil Kaufman in the November election.
I go out with satisfaction for my tenure, and I look forward to just watching what goes on with our new board.
Also leaving the board, Christopher Barclay, who decided not to seek re-election. What are you going to miss the most?
My colleagues, the time that we spend together, the work that we do together.
It's very hard for me to say goodbye to Mr. Barclay. He's been a real mentor and a great leader.
After those heartfelt goodbyes, the new school board is readying for its first all-day meeting on December 13th. You can find an agenda for that meeting on the district's website. In Rockville, I'm Sonia Burke for County Report This Week.
The City of Rockville is preparing for whatever winter throws at them. Rock 11 Now tells us how the city crews are training to help keep sidewalks and facilities clear of snow, no matter how big the storm.
Rockville had one of the biggest snowstorms on record last year. And just like last year, the city's parks and facilities crews are working to make sure that the snow doesn't stop you from getting around the city. So much so, they have it down to a science.
We have a lot of sidewalks and public parking lots that we have to maintain. So knowing things to look out for like curb stops, fire hydrants, handicap parking to make sure that we're clearing the snow properly from those areas. Also keeping the equipment up and running to make sure that we can plow snow in the events and making sure that the employees are safe while they're doing it.
Because we do 26 facilities and miles of sidewalks, it's important that everybody knows the safe operation of all the various equipment that we use. For the sidewalks, we try to use some of the smaller tractors that we took a look at before, and that's just the quickest way of doing it. There are areas that we have to manually shovel, but we try to use a tractor to do that.
However, you should keep in mind this doesn't mean that the city is responsible for every sidewalk. Property owners, you must do your share of removing snow too. Sidewalks, driveways, and entrances are the responsibility of the adjacent property owner, occupant, community association, or business, and you have to clear the ice and the snow within 24 to 72 hours of the end of the snowfall. For more information on snow removal guidelines and other helpful winter weather tips, just head to rockvillemd.gov/winter weather. For County Report This Week, I'm Kathy Dantzler.
The process of starting a business can be complicated and overwhelming, especially if you're a first-generation immigrant. One local organization is working to provide immigrants with the tools they'll need for success. Crystal Park has more.
For many Korean American business owners, it can be quite daunting to try and start a new venture in a new land. That's why organizations like Kobe help Korean Americans navigate the process of starting a new business here in Montgomery County by providing language and cultural assistance. Established in 1996, Kobe, which stands for Knowledge of Business Entrepreneurship, began as a way to attract more Korean business owners to government contracts. Kobe, which is headquartered in Rockville, aims to assist startups and minority small businesses understand and navigate the procurement process with federal, state, and local government agencies. Sue Beck owns and operates 3 delis under government contract. One of those delis is Wellbeing Cafe, located inside the Montgomery County Council office building. Beck says understanding government contracts was a foreign concept to her.
At first, I didn't really understand anything because I didn't speak English well. Kobe explained the ins and outs of applying for these contracts, and with that knowledge, I was able to secure additional contracts.
Kobe provides vast networking opportunities to its members with annual dinners and opportunities to meet with local and state officials who can introduce their programs to the Asian business community.
Gaining people's trust is so terribly important because an engaged Asian community will ensure that the Asian community voice is heard.
A lot of times some of the Asian American, they're not really social, so we're trying to also giving them some practice, get to know each other.
For business owners like Sue Beck, Kobe has provided an opportunity she says has been a dream come true.
I've been very blessed.
No complaint at all.
For County Report This Week, I'm Crystal Park.
Coming up next on County Report This Week, a retirement send-off for 60 years of police service. Plus, the Knights reunite. We'll take you to the big football reunion at Montgomery College where it was just like old times. And giving our pets of the week a place to call home for the holidays and beyond. We'll explain how you can help. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello? That's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Here's your chance to save money and help the environment. Bring your reusable bag when you shop and you'll save 5 cents for every store bag you don't need. Retailers in Montgomery County charge 5 cents for the plastic or paper bags they provide. Why? Because plastic bags are the biggest single source of stream and waterway litter, causing pollution and flooding. And every year, Montgomery County spends $3 million on cleanup. So do yourself and the environment a favor. Bring your reusable bag when you shop. You'll fight litter and keep the change.
Welcome back to County Report This Week. I'm Anqoinette Crosby. Montgomery College held its big alumni football reunion. MCTV's Stan Jones has the story.
As Montgomery College celebrates its 70th anniversary, the college held its first Montgomery College football alumni reunion.
This is the inaugural event for the alumni of the football program. This was brought together by Coach Phil Martin, Hall of Fame coach for our college, and he said to me, I'd really like to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Fighting Knights National Championship runner-up team. And I said, well, it's the 70th anniversary of the college. Can we bring all football players and celebrate Knights football? And he said, of course, Greg, that sounds like the perfect thing to do.
So tonight, we celebrate the Knights football program in its entirety, as well as a special recognition of the 1986 team that played this very weekend 30 years ago in the NJCAA National Championship game.
The reunion was well attended by close to 200 former players, coaches, and other team personnel from teams from the 60s to 2002.
Tonight we had over 170 people. Not only did we have 170 people RSVP somewhere around the deadline, but we had people show up who had heard about the event via Facebook, social media, friends, otherwise, who showed up tonight. And of course, we weren't going to turn anybody back because we're celebrating the football program as a whole for years and years to come.
Although the years have passed, all of the former team personnel who attended shared memories and enjoyed the camaraderie for one more night. Thank you, Montgomery College. For County Report this week, I'm Stan Jones.
His career began when Dwight Eisenhower was president, and after serving 60 years on the force, the Montgomery County Police Department hosted a special send-off for a well-deserving officer. MyMC Media's Maureen Chowdhury has the story.
Your traffic stops and your escapades, even as an executive officer, are legendary.
Meet Lieutenant Thomas J. Cox. He's a legend, and who wouldn't be after 61 years of service with the Montgomery County Police Department. At the age of 84, J. Cox is the longest-serving member of law enforcement at a single agency in the state of Maryland. His career spans 11 presidents, and his reason for serving for so long is pretty simple.
I like the job.
What about it?
Well, I don't know, it's just some people like to do this, so I like to do it.
At a retirement reception at the public safety headquarters, colleagues reflected on J. Cox's legacy.
I don't move as fast as I used to. Is that it?
He was revered and he was feared. I think his legacy is somebody that was very by the book, somebody that was, as I said, a man of few words, but certainly somebody that was trying to uphold the integrity and the professionalism of this police department.
During his career, J. Cox rose through the ranks and was promoted 6 times, while also raising 5 children with his wife, Peg.
Because if you have a guy who loves his work and loves doing what he's doing, things are going to be a lot happier at home.
I've been hashtagging legend all day, and I'm just really proud that he has such a commitment that maybe people today don't get or understand, that he's just had a job to do and he enjoyed it.
And the love for his job still continues. Although he's retiring, he plans to serve as a volunteer for the police department, assisting with warrants. In Gaithersburg, I'm Maureen Chowdhury for County Report This Week.
Now it's time to meet our pets of the week. Kathy Stanhope joins us from the Montgomery County Animal Services and Adoption Center with more. Kathy?
This is Rocco and Bella. Rocco's about 10 and Bella's about 7. They were given up by an owner who can no longer care for them. They are a bonded pair and they really need to stay together. They're very, very loving beagles. They love people. They also like other dogs. They're very friendly to everybody. If you have room in your home and your heart for 2 really sweet beagles, please give us a call at 240-773-5900 or visit Rocco and Bella on our website at montgomerycountymd.gov/ASD.
With that, we close this edition of County Report This Week. Remember to like us on Facebook and to join us again at this time every week for a look at what's going on inside Montgomery County. I'm Anqoinette Crosby. Thank you for watching.